Alrighty, rock and roll. Welcome to the Scorched Earth Political Podcast for Thursday, April 10th. Wow, almost tax day, you little shenanigans, you little lawbreakers out there. I love you all. I love you rascals. If you could, first and foremost, hit that like and subscribe button. It means a lot to us. Seems like we got some feisty comments there. There was some pretty damn funny comments. And honestly, if you're going to leave comments that are that funny and that witty, it's really going to make me and really intimidate me. But there was, if you look at the comments, there was a funny one about Christy Nome and her little cosplay world. And, it's I guess she's doing some type of military cosplay. I never really even thought about it, but man, the more it sinks in, the funnier it gets. It's just bloody. I'll tell you, there's some creative people out there. You're probably not looking at one of them, but, let's just roll with it, okay? So, my last night in Las Vegas, I did a couple videos out by the Sphere, and on the way back, I stopped at In-N-Out. Now, with all the dining options here, I go to In-N-Out. And, I've lamented this a couple times, but we're going to dig down a little deeper with it. California instituted a policy where they're paying their fast food workers $20 an hour, something like that. And we were told it was going to destroy fast food. It was going to drive the cost through the roof. It wasn't going to be around. It wasn't going to happen. And I'm in Nevada, where the fast food workers make an average of $12 or $13 an hour. Okay. All right. It's what Nevada's decided. I'm not going to get into their geopolitical world. And, the national minimum wage hasn't been raised in 20 years. Yeah. I'm glad the Democrats really got on that when they had control. And the price of a hamburger in LA is the same as it is here in Las Vegas, right? Okay, explain that to me when the workers, which is basically the biggest variable is labor, are basically making double, give or take. I mean, how does that work? Okay, yeah. I guess the Snyder family, as they donate to conservative PACs, I get on Chick-fil-A, but, In-N-Out is just as conservative. And then I saw something that really tripped me out. And I brought this up to super producer Stacy a couple times. Like, when you go into an In-N-Out, I don't know if you ever saw the movie Logan's Run, but that's a movie where it's a futuristic society. Everything is superficial. Everything is narcissistic. And basically the guys get to live any kind of life they want, but when they're 30, they get incinerated. They kill them, right? Farrah Fawcett was in the original. Scarlett Johansson, I believe, was in the sequel with Ewan McGregor. And In-N-Out is kind of like Logan's Run. Like, everybody, you don't see an old person in there. Yeah, literally everybody in there is 20 or 25, right? And I guess at 30, they move them on to McDonald's or somewhere else. I don't know how that all works. So I go in there and I order my food. And I see this guy, and he's an older dude. I'm like, wow, am I looking in a mirror? Old. And it says, I'm Gus, hired in 1994. And I'm like, holy crap. There is somebody at Jurassic Park. Son of a bitch, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I look around, and I'm telling you, if you put the gun to my head, literally everybody there was not born in 1994. They were born after, way after. Okay? And I'm like, wow, I finally found the one guy over 50 who works at In-N-Out. Probably a manager. He's probably just helping out the crew. I don't know. But Sam Hill, right? Sam Hill. And I got to get back to LA so I can get my water, because I'm getting tired of drinking all this Diet Coke. How's it working? All right. So the market rebounded spectacularly today. or yesterday, on Wednesday. And there's a lot of things going on with the market. We've had literally one of the most catastrophic weeks outside of October of 29 in the stock market's history. And that was basically after the Liberation Day last Wednesday. The markets tanked on Thursday and Friday. And like I said, they really screwed up. They should have had that press conference on Friday night so the markets could have kind of meandered out. Monday, if you remember, if you listen to this podcast, and if you don't and you're not hitting like and subscribe, bad you, bad you. But at 10, and I did the chronological order. At 10:13, a tweet came out of some anonymous Twitter account with less than 1,000 followers that there could possibly be a 90-day pause on the tariffs that were supposed to be instituted yesterday on Wednesday. Then Hammer Mutual Fund, which is has a much more widespread following, copy and pasted it at 10:14, literally 1 minute. Then at 10:15, CNBC reported it. All right. Now, we understand how the social media ecosystem works. These are some smart people, right? And 2 hours later, which I marked, that Carolyn Levitt finally acknowledged, no, it's just fake news. It's not happening. But in that 2 hours, the market stabilized. Literally on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, traders started to cheer because, okay, we're going to stop the volatility. When she said fake news, the market kind of just chilled out because they didn't really know how to read it. Yesterday, the bond market started collapsing. Basically, people did not know if they were going to invest in U.S. bonds because if everything collapses, right, the interest rate's going to come down with it. That's just what's going to happen there. And they didn't want to invest in U.S. bonds, U.S. Treasury notes, until they knew how stable the interest rate was, right? The rumor is on Wednesday that Scott Bessent, who's a smart guy, he's a really smart guy, went into the White House on Wednesday and told Trump, if you're going to stick with the tariffs, I got to go. I can't be part of this. I can't be part of this Peter Soap on a Rope Navarro and his crazy shenanigans, his crazy shit, right? Because that's really, I mean, this guy is out there. The guy they got from Amazon. Ugh, that's a story for another day. But Trump then, even after he doubled down on Tuesday saying he wasn't going to change his mind on Wednesday, he changed his mind. Oh, what a shock. Well, China isn't backing down. They're literally going to go, okay, let's go. Let's step into the ring. All right. Now, the funny thing is a lot of these agreements, like the revised NAFTA, the other agreement with Canada and Mexico on aluminum and timber, are ones he negotiated. The Chinese deal he negotiated in 2018. You know, I mean, really, what is going on there, right? Honestly, it is literally like a Chinese fire drill here, right? Now, it's funny because I haven't seen it. Maybe it happened. Who asked Carolyn Levitt if that fake news on Monday about the 90-day pause, what happened in those 2 days? You know? And also something else I'd like to wonder, you know, we have an administration that's talking about anti-DEI, anti-all that, you know, that stuff. How did Carolyn Levitt get hired? What's her qualifications? She was a softball player. She married a guy worth $50 million who donated $5 million to the Trump campaign. Exactly what is her qualifications to get a government job? Oh, I serve at the behest of the president. Oh, didn't know. Also, I'm going to double down on the goddamn media not reporting what has been going on in the market. They keep reporting, and the headlines you see up until Wednesday when it reversed, it went up a record number for one day. That's only because the last 4 days had been just a cataclysmic failure. That anywhere between $5 and $6 trillion had been wiped out. That's a bullshit number. That's a straight bullshit number, because that is only the S&P. That's only the top 500 companies. It's not talking about the other 30 million companies that are out there. Duh. Now, the reason the media doesn't bring it up, because hey, we don't want to set in a panic. If we said that the real number in this week was 10 trillion, 15 trillion, I don't know. But I'm going to tell you this. I'll put dollars to donuts. And you know I love donuts. That if you took the other 29 million companies, their gross product, their gross revenue, their gross productivity is a hell of a lot more than the Fortune or the S&P 500. So I think even at the smallest level, you got to double that number, don't you? All right? Hello? Hello? So I'm going to do another video right after this. But first of all, what I need you to do is hit the like and subscribe button. Leave some comments. Tell me how long till Trump cracks. That's what the next video is going to be. All right. If you can, leave the comments, and I'll see you soon.